Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Believe it or not, like we ain't never left. You know, we seen us this dynamic do it together before with Game of Thrones on HBO, but now we're tackling anime. I have here the one, the only Keaton Seven. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? I swear I'm making a career out of being the last person to see things.
Hey, but it makes for good content though.
I guess, man. I guess. I just been under a rock just rewatching Gundam Wing 19 times.
Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. And what was it? We just watched for The Last
Which,
of Us, which
oh,
was
yeah,
great
yeah.
talking to you about that because your perspective on it just it changes. It changes the whole
I'm a,
mood.
I'm definitely
So
excited to. I've been like, I'm back under a rock again because I'm scared of getting anything spoiled for me for that. So,
yeah, I don't want you getting spoiled with what we're about to talk about, and I don't want you getting spoiled with that either. But we're gonna go ahead and just kind of get into it. So we're talking about Attack on Titan, ladies and gentlemen. Attack on Titan is one of the best animes of all time.
it's
Now, for
bonkers.
Keaton, he's he's watching this for the very first time.
Yeah.
I am currently on the final season, waiting. I think in March when it drops. Um, but for Keaton, this is a different experience. Like he didn't know who Eren Jaeger was. He didn't understand what the Titans even were. He didn't know what Wall Rose, Wall Maria is. He didn't understand what
None
is
of it.
going on.
None of it.
So
I saw the shirts in Hot Topic. I'm not. The jackets are dope. The jackets are fly. I'm not. I'll take one of them jackets definitely.
so for you, just go ahead and unpack. What was your feelings about starting it? Like when you saw the very first episode, I think Aaron, he just randomly sitting in the field chilling, and he's going with Mikasa and Armin. They're meeting up. Everything seems cool. He's narrating, and all of a sudden, this behemoth just drops,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
out of nowhere, like a daisy, like popped out like a daisy. You see lightning, and you don't know what is going on, but it's just pure carnage from that point. Matter of fact, in the very first episode, I believe his mother is eaten alive in the
Yeah.
very first episode.
Yeah. That was like so. The first episode didn't hook me. The first episode didn't hook me. I was just like, all right, like, oh God, like I just this is just sad. Like this is just sad. Like, oh, well, we got our anime protagonist, no parents. Now we're set up for it. Like, it was one of those things I was like, yeah. Plus I had heard people talking about it, like, oh, they're titans and they eat people. So it
Yeah.
wasn't anything that like I was blown away by, besides the fact that I think he like had a dream about it and then it happened.
All right.
Right? Like that was pretty nuts. And then honestly, I wasn't expecting like there to be such a time skip
Mhm.
after that happened, because what is it, 2 or 3 years
Yeah, it's a few years because
that
that's when he joined the Scouts. Yeah.
yeah, that goes by. And so like, yeah, it was pretty crazy because you don't at this point, you just don't know anything at all early on about the Titans. It's just, hey, we're inside this city, and that city has a wall, and that city has a wall, and that one has a wall, and it's just Titans, and they're just out here just
Right.
ruining people and eating them. And they're all different kinds, but some of them are bigger or stronger than others with special abilities, and it's just bonkers because they get attacked by like some other titans that can just run, like just straight up ran through the wall like nothing,
Right.
like get it out of here. Like, yeah, that I call him Gronk Titan because he looked like Rob Gronkowski to me. uh but yeah, man, people just get wrecked. Like, it's one of those shows, like it did remind me of Game of Thrones in that sense of don't get used to anybody.
Right.
Um, but I do have a handful of characters that I'm like, man, I don't want to see them go anywhere because I really like him.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk about the elephant in the room, which is, a loss. I mean, the very first episode is lost, a lot of it. And then, eventually Aaron and Mikasa and Armin, they join the scouts. They're like, all right, we about to wreck shop. Like, I think the very first day of Aaron on the wall, ready to go, and that huge titan shows right back up in front of his face, and he still can't do anything about it. So
Nothing.
it's a lot of trauma that's circulating around.
Yeah, it's a lot of trauma circulating around, and it's a lot of absolute like awesome characters circling around too. Because we ain't even got on. I'm gonna go ahead and skip and talk about how uh Mikasa wants hands and smoke all the time. Like nothing but Mortal Kombat smoke. That girl just is about that action. Like nothing but action with her. I love watching like all the scenes she's in. She's just like quiet and
Mhm.
poised and hands. Only one so far I've seen with more hands than her is another character named Levi, who
Yes, sir.
also has nothing but hands. I c- the most annoying thing about this show is that he's not in it all the time. Like you only see him sometimes. It's like, man, I need to see him have hands with people all the time. So I'm hoping that in yeah, there he is. Bowl cut. But like I'm hoping that in like seasons 2, 3, what like I hope he's still around because I need him to outlast because man, dude got hands. Like he be doing stuff. It's like it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite episodes, I think in the first season is it's a dual combo because we got to talk about the elephant in the room also with probably the thing that hooked you, and I think it's
Hmm.
this moment right here. Um, the moment that the main protagonist, risk his life, right, to push Armin out of the mouth of a Titan because Armin he kind of given up, and Aaron showed up, got there, and he pushed him out the way, and you thought everything was cool, but no, it closed in on him, and he got eaten alive. And from that point, I personally, first time I watched it, I quit the show. I was like, you're gonna suck me into this crap, and this man gets eaten alive. I was like, that episode, I kid you not, because then it went to Mikasa, and like Armin is like in shock, and like Mikasa's like, "Where's Aaron at?" And he was like, "He's gone." And then that's when it continued to Mikasa's story, like how she came to know Aaron. And so
Yeah,
it led me to believe, like, okay, it maybe the show is her front and center. I could see her being the main protagonist, but I was like, I don't want that. I want Eren Jaeger. You killed the character that I was like,
I man, I thought that they were
they
I
didn't
I
start this to.
look, I thought they were pulling another Last of Us on me, man. It's like, look at your protagonist. And then suddenly but yeah, so you were with me when we watched this. You were down here in North Carolina hanging with me when we watched this, and I'm pretty sure you recorded you recorded some reactions of me watching it too. Because I'm like, man, why you got me watching this? Like, what just happened? It was funny because it's already a very very violent show, and so I had a feeling that something was up because it was only what like episode it was
Five, I think.
yeah, it was like 4 or 5. It was early, so I'm like, man, they don't have somebody going out like this. But at the same time, I was like, they did it in Gurren Lagann. They ripped your heart out in Gurren Lagann. They might do it again. And so I wasn't sure what was about to happen. But man, that's when it really, really hit the fan.
Right.
So Aaron's a Titan.
Yep.
Aaron's a Titan. Not only is he a Titan, but he a Titan with hands. Hands is the whole theme of this show. Hands. But
Right.
yeah, it's really interesting because I guess like if you all you have to do is cut yourself or bite yourself and they can seemingly transform. and he just like explodes out of this dude.
Right.
Yeah, that was wild because like now there's a Titan fighting for them, and you don't really know what's going on, and he can kind of sort of control himself, but sometimes he gets angry. Like there's so much stuff going on, and it's just building questions. So right now it's interesting because season one ended with way more questions than
Yep.
answers.
Yep. Yep. And that's where I love this. I cannot wait to go through this with you because I'm gonna say this, and this is not a spoiler. Throughout the entire series, there are things that happen in this first season that are pivotal to later on in later seasons.
Okay.
Like they call back to asking certain questions. Like I mean, I'll ask you this, which is a very unanswered question in the first episode. You know, what and how?
Yeah.
How is this started? How did this happen?
Right.
What is actually going on? Like that's the biggest question. I mean, even more so than small little pivot question, because by the end of the episode, by the end of the season, we find out that somebody else who also got hands is a Titan.
Man, they got me. They got me with that. I wasn't prepared. Like I knew. I had a feeling because it's not like once you pretty much find out, okay, it's somebody that's around them. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, it's the female Titan. It can't be, but so many. Like,
Right, right.
it's not many. It's not too many characters that are like that. But plus, yeah, like the blonde hair and all that. And so it was interesting and I really loved the scene, like how it happened when Mikasa's running away and she's like, nope, we're too late, y'all need to get back,
Right.
because it's like all it takes is a cut and she transforms. And what's interesting is like, so like I said before, because you have the certain Titans have names,
Mhm.
and like she's the female Titan and she has a special ability. She can like harden random parts of her body so the back of her neck doesn't
Mhm.
work. But then there's the other Titans. It seems like they might have some special abilities as well, especially the one that just burst through the wall like it was nothing,
Right.
right? Um, and so, and of course, Aaron, he's like he can just fight, like he's just like a boxer when he turns. And so it's really interesting how some of them have powers and some of them don't.
Mhm.
And part of me wonders if there's a person inside all the Titans, or if it's just certain ones where the people turn into Titans that make those specialized ones, right? Like, and so
Right.
I have a ton of questions, and I know that like they're trying to experiment on them, but that's a slippery slope.
It is. It definitely is. But yeah, Aaron decides to join the scouts, and of course, Mikasa and Armin do as well. Now, one of the things, as far as one of my favorite characters, is Armin.
Yeah,
Um, Armin is a genius.
yeah,
Like
he's really smart.
he's a tacticianer. Like he's not physically strong, but he is so mentally inept and capable. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like the situation when, I want to make sure I don't mess this up.
Don't do it.
When when him, Aaron, and Armin were cornered by the military
Hmm.
together. That happened in first season,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so make sure. Believe it or not, the guy that was the commander that was freaking out, that
Yeah.
was Chris Savitt. Um, that was actually
Oh,
freaking out, and yeah,
Vegeta.
yeah, that was
Oh,
him.
wow.
That was him. Like ready to just kill them all.
See,
Um,
I watched it subbed. I didn't watch the dub. And so, yeah, do I need to go back and watch the dub? Okay, normally,
the
yeah,
dub,
normally.
the dub actually is really freaking good.
Okay, okay, I'll
The
check it
dub
out
is
then.
actually really
Yeah,
freaking
because
good.
normally whenever someone tells me to watch an anime, unless they go out of their way and say, "Hey, watch dubbed," I watch sub. Just yeah.
Yeah, so the actor that's playing the role of Eren Jaeger is also um Kirito. and he's also in a lot of other things as well, like
Hmm.
um gosh, Demon Slayer, man,
Okay.
Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, yeah, yeah, I would say, yeah,
Okay.
definitely go back through some of them in
Okay.
English dub. It's actually legit. They got a really good voice acting cast. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I think for me, like Armin was one of my favorites. Like
Yeah.
off rip, and I didn't even realize until I finished the season that he was the person that was narrating in the very beginning.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, I did figure that out early on. I was like, I know that. Yeah, I did figure that out pretty early on. But like, gosh, so many of the characters have just like these dark origin stories, especially like with Mikasa. Like, man, like,
yeah, yeah, that was a very fascinating one because I think that in that episode, like you find out like not only are her full family get killed, they try to sell her off into slavery, but it was
yeah,
Aaron that stepped up and
mm-hmm.
slaughtered everybody. Like he slaughtered them.
That's problem. Like, he did that too easily. He did that more like a villain than a good guy. Like, I'm a look. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like that's that's a little that's crazy tendencies. Whenever a kid can do damage like that with just a cold look on their face, like,
Right. Like the only
mm,
reason why he didn't kill them all because he kind of second guessed himself for a second. Like he kind of looked back like crap. And then
yeah,
he encouraged her to let loose. And I don't know if you read it well enough, but she stabbed that dude so far in his back, it went past and pierced his heart.
yeah,
Um, and like even the floor from where she lunged off busted. Like she went
yeah,
into kill mode.
yeah. She did, and
Um,
she can still go into it. Like, the girl is exactly where she needs to be. Honestly, yeah. Like, yeah. She's a beast, for sure. Probably currently it's a toss up between her, Levi, and um, what's her name? The scientist.
oh Hanji,
Yeah, it's a toss up between who my favorite
who your
characters are
favorites
right
are?
now. Yeah. But yeah, Anna's the female Titan.
Hmm.
Right before she was about to get killed, she crystallized herself,
She sure did
I guess.
completely.
Uh, and so it's
Yeah, because Aaron went and ate nuts. Like he was about to slaughter her.
yeah,
He was about to kill her straight up. Like matter of fact, he was so much rage he was burning red, if I
yeah,
remember correctly.
and that's one issue with him too. Like, his anger is just like next level to the point that he can't really be controlled. It kind of reminds me of like Bruce Banner in the comics, not
Mm,
in the
the
MCU
MCU.
where they
they
we not where
we're not
they
gonna say castrated in
where
this.
they punked them out. I'm
Yeah.
do
But
you ever,
no, yeah, it's real.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm not going go into it. I just got mad all over again though, because I remember the Ultimate Comics and how he ended up becoming a villain. But we're not here talking about why the MCU
Bruh,
is problematic.
that ultimate freaking movie.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
not gonna do that.
No,
We're here for Attack on Titan.
yeah,
um, but yeah, yeah, she had to save herself.
yeah.
But it's kind of like, did she really save herself, or was it kind of like taking a side nap pill? Because how can she get herself out? Like it's like she's not moving. Like she's not
She's
doing anything.
she's not, but at the same time, like, it's one of those things. If a character doesn't, like, in a TV show, if a character doesn't die, it's because they're coming back. Like, and that's why, especially in an anime, somebody that powerful, I got a feeling we're gonna see her again and the female Titan again. Like, I don't see how she can just be gone. Like, if she's there, it's because eventually she gonna wake up. Like, that's just how shows work.
Yeah, but I think
That's just my theory.
no, I mean I think that's interesting perspective. I think it's just I love how they played that whole thing out. because she taught Aaron a lot
Yeah,
during their training, and like you still don't really know why she turned on them, because if you
yeah.
think about it, she slaughtered a lot of them. Like the
She
way that she was
a
killing them,
lot of them.
like she was killing them in such ways that was just terrifying.
Well, and
Because
it's because
it,
she knows what they're gonna do.
right,
She
right,
knows exactly what they're gonna do, but man, they were getting like splattered against walls and trees, and she was
r-
kicking people into
right.
dust. Like
Yeah,
it's a
that's right. Because she killed all of Levi's squad,
whole
and
squad.
I think that was one of my favorite episodes because Aaron was talking to Levi. What should I do? Should I jump in, or should I listen to you and just trust the team?
Hmm.
And it was like the reality of life, there's not always going to be a clear cut answer. And that's why he was like,
Nope.
look, you're going to have to figure that out. I can't tell you, because realistically, if you don't jump in, we might all die anyway. But if you
Right.
do trust them, we may make it out. There's no clear cut answer. And the decision to not to trust them got them
Oof.
all killed. And it sucked because it was her that did it. Like
Yeah.
she millie walked them in such a way, like Levi was pissed.
Oh
He was
yeah.
ready to tear her up.
Oh yeah.
He was
Oh
ready.
yeah. And the thing, yeah, but like it is interesting how that went though, because like I said, she's the one that trained them. She's the one that like taught some of them how to fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
this
this was
ain't
the scene right here. I was like, this is the most ultimate disrespectful thing. Like she twirling a person like there, bro.
yeah,
Twirling them.
yeah. It was brutal. It was brutal. And like I was gosh, I do wonder where it's going, because now that we know that she was a Titan, who else is a Titan, right? Because we have those that are at the beginning, like the gigantic one and
Mhm.
the one that could run through what, which do they have names? I'm trying to figure out if they named them this season. I can't I don't know. I'm willing to bet they give them a name. If they didn't give them names this season, they give them names another season. But like, there were certain special titans that were in there that I know they're going to be back, and if it holds true, it means that it's somebody that's there that are these titans, because all the specialty ones, Aaron, her, they there's a person in there, which I still don't understand even how that works and why they're able to turn.
Yeah, I think that I can't remember if they named any of them outside of the attack titan, which that's basically Aaron, and then the female titan. Now I think that they kind of described the one because he had like a lot of armor.
Yeah,
And then the other one they kind of labeled as like the gigantic titan.
yeah,
Um, but it still is not clear why. Because
yeah,
that's the thing I was saying, why and what's going on, because why is this happening now? That's if you think
yeah.
about it like that,
Because it was like what 100 years had gone by.
100 years before any kind of issues that come up, because remember the whole area is three different subsects,
Hmm.
and the outside wall had been there for hundreds of years. There was not an incident unless you decide to go out as a scout and start, taking on the area.
Hmm.
And even that first episode was real sad because Aaron was kind of cheering them on. They came back, man was like, yeah, I only
Oh
have his
yeah,
hand. I'm so sorry. Like, that's the only thing I could bring back. And
yeah.
like, so this Titans everywhere. It's like sharks around everywhere.
It
It's not like you can get out, but
it seems overwhelming. I'm like, how are they gonna win? And I know they have Aaron, but I I guess I don't really know what's gonna happen, because they kind of leave it with quite the cliffhanger. Because what is it? Do you find out there's Titans like buried in the walls?
yep. Yep, that is the last thing that happened. And because like I can't remember how it happened. Like there was a destruction in the wall. But yeah, you see like legit what looks like one of the bigger titans as well. in the wall.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, that hooked me. That moment hooked me because I was like,
yeah,
I was already like lost for words, but how and what the heck is going on?
yeah. Like I was still trying to unpack that to the point that I was kind of confused. I'm like, is that what I think is real? Like I was kind of shocked at that. Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, because honestly, it looks like something that would be on like the opening credits or closing credits or something. But I was like, this is in the show. Like, what in the world is going on? So yeah, I'll be starting season 2 soon enough.
yeah. So, what are your biggest questions? What are your biggest questions? I think that's a good way to kind of round this out.
My biggest questions, that was one of them. Like what that was all about. Why is Eren able to turn into a Titan? Why was Annie, or it's Anna or Annie? I keep forgetting.
Annie.
Annie, why was she able to turn into uh a Titan?
Mhm.
And just I want to know more about the leadership because I feel like at this point, once you found out Annie was a Titan, you can't really trust anything or anyone.
Correct.
And and also like what are the motives? Because she's a female Titan, but what are the motives? Like why was she doing what she was doing, you know? Like I
Right.
just
Yeah. Why wouldn't she be willing to help Aaron along? Like, oh,
right.
okay, there's somebody else that knows how to turn a tight like me. I want to try to protect them as well, or I want to try to,
Yeah.
help with the tools that I have. Like, it doesn't really add up. Like her motivations.
Yeah. And that's what more than anything I think that's what I would like to know. Um and then of course, gosh, they lost enough people. I'm sure they're going to be bringing in some new characters probably or new cadets or something because they got wiped. They got wiped and I'm guessing that like uh I'm hoping we'll see a lot more of Levi, especially because now, I mean, between Aaron and Mikasa, like if anybody's gonna be in the special squadron,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that moment because how Aaron got indicted into the team
yeah,
is the trial. And like Levi beat the brakes off of Aaron. It was like, yeah, nah, if he steps out of tune, I'll just kill his tail right here now. Like,
yeah, yeah, ain't no thing, yeah. And so I'm interested in seeing how that goes, and I'm also wondering if there's just a whole faction because there are at least 3 Titans. We know where one of them is. She crystallized herself. But at least 2 of them got to be around there somewhere and
mhm.
human because uh and I want to know what their deal is because it's not like we've been dealing with random assassinations and we don't know, man, he ain't have to put his foot on his face.
Like Mikasa ready to kill Levi, boy. She ready. Armin had to hold her back.
She don't want that smoke. Look, Mikasa she is bad. She's a baddie for sure. But I don't think anyone wants that smoke. This man got a biblical name, an Old Testament name. You do not want that smoke. Like I just you put boots to somebody face and you know if they get cut they're gonna turn into a titan and you still don't care. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing what happens next. See how they answer the questions, like exactly what a titan is. Like, I want to know what the deal is with some of them that like you just cut them in the neck and they die, or is there a person in there the same way when like where Aaron and Annie are in there? Like, I just want to know how it all works. Where's that lightning coming from? Like, you know, like,
Right, right. Now that's a real question. Those are real questions. Um, the only thing I'm gonna pose to you, and I'm try to be real careful with it, but I do know it was a real big thing initially. Um, do you remember Aaron's parents?
little bit.
Okay.
Little bit. I think so. Yeah. Cause gosh. So I started season one, and then for those of you listen, I started season one, and then my wife had a baby, and then there was this whole long maternity and paternity leave, and then I went back to finish it. And so there was some things that I definitely did forget, but I'm gonna go back and rewatch season one. I think I'm gonna try and binge it with dub, since you're telling me to watch it with dub, and that way I'll anything I missed I'll make sure I'll get when as soon as I jump into season two.
Right. Yeah, there was something that happened in the very first two episodes, and I think that before everything went crazy and everybody died, um, Aaron's dad dipped, and he posed to him a question about this, and it was a small little key,
Hmm.
but they never really address it.
Yeah.
They never bring it up. They don't say anything about it. Um, and I mean, even more than that, it's like we don't even know what happened.
Right.
We know for a fact what happened to Aaron's mom, because she literally got eaten in front of her eyes. But it's
That was
like,
brutal.
we never saw like how the dad died or any of it.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
So it's kind of like that was one thing that I was gonna bring up. That was a big question that I had when I first watched it. I was like, "You just gonna skip over this?" And I'll say this effectively, having seen all of it, they don't skip over anything. So I am very excited for Keaton to drop bombs on all of this because
Yeah.
it is a slippery, slippery slope, but it's
Yeah.
an amazing narrative.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Yeah,
I'll be in there. I'll be in there. I'm glad I finally got into it. And I'll be binge watching season two and being right back here chatting with you about it.
bet I'm excited. Yeah, but no, go back and check some of those episodes. Some of your favorite episodes, go check them out in English dub, because the guy
Okay.
that voice acts is Levi. He does some amazing voice acting. Same thing for Hanji.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Most stuff then.
yeah. Closing thoughts.
Uh Watch out for them Titans. I don't know. Like it's they out there like just eating people. I don't know. It's such a weird concept for a show. It is a very weird concept. It took me a while to get into it just because I'm like, man, what is this? Like that I don't it's just a lot going on. and
Right.
and, and yeah, it's a lot going on, and you don't really know where they are, and it's a lot of questions, and but it's one of those shows where I think the fun is getting the answers, and so I'm looking
Yeah.
for they posed enough questions to keep me intrigued.
Yeah, I can say that if my wife can go and binge through the full four seasons and want more, like she's like, "When's the new season coming up?" Like I know for a fact you're in good hands.
Yeah,
You're in good hands. But
sounds good.
yeah, go and check out Keaton Seven. Well, go ahead and you plug yourself. I'll let you do
Oh,
it.
yeah. So in addition to being a part of JVS, I also just started a podcast with my good friend Dr. Amelia Brown. It's called Bat Therapy. You can go to bat-therapy.com. It is a very nerdy podcast where we look at comic books, movies, TV shows, and we break down the psychology of them. And we have a huge, huge focus on mindfulness and mental health awareness. And of course, there is a lot of Batman. But we also do stuff with the MCU, and we have just a lot of fun with it. We take requests, and so it's a lot of fun. It's Please check us out. Like I said, it's bat-therapy. com. You see it right here behind me. Yeah, please check it out. I'd love it. And like I said, it's all about mental health awareness and taking care of what's up here.
Speaking of Batman, we're gonna be watching Batman tonight. But I'll talk to you guys later. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. If you enjoyed our dissection of season 1 of Attack on Titan, please let us know in the comment section below. Maybe we might do some giveaways next season.
Oh snap.
Just saying. All right, guys. Peace.